So I buy a lot of things like on a whim, or I like impulse buy a lot. So I wanted to share some things with you that I have purchased with my own money, not gifted, not anything like that I would not buy again, but I also want to share with you the alternative to what I will be using instead, something that works better. And these aren't exactly like purchase regrets. Like I don't regret buying them. I will use them all the way up, but I'm just not interested in using them again. Perhaps there's something I don't quite like about the product itself, the way it is, or I have a better, maybe more affordable alternative. So let's get into that. If this is your first time here, please do consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at RobertWLSH for like little tutorials and things like that, exclusive videos you don't see on YouTube. Okay, let's get into it. I first want to talk about primer. So I bought this from Refy. Refy is a brand that I think it's a UK brand, right? And some of their products are absolutely stunning. I love their lip balms, I love their moisturizers. So I love a lot of their products. So when I saw this primer with this kind of like metal top here, I was like, oh, imagine that on your skin. Pushing that into your skin is going to be beautiful. And then I saw it was blur and hydrate. So I'm thinking a little bit more matter in terms of blurring, because for a makeup product to blur, it has to be matte. It can't be shiny, otherwise it reflects light, right? But also hydrating. So it's good for my oily, dehydrated skin. One thing I really like about it is the top here that you can just clean with like an alcohol wipe or like sanitizer, something like that. And I really like that one of the first steps of your makeup prep, it being a primer, but you can really push into the face and really move everything around and almost like drain your face of all that fluid that's been gathering overnight in the face. What's it called? Lymphatic drainage. I thought that was a really good idea. They also do a moisturizer, which is similar, but you kind of roll it a little bit more on the face. My only issue with this is, to be able to get that kind of slip for this product, for it to be able to move around the face like this, is you have to use quite a bit. It doesn't blend out very easily. Once it's on the skin, it is quite a matte, like it gets not tacky, it gets like dry, I don't know how to describe it, like a dry tacky. And then trying to move that across the face, it got like this, like it becomes almost impossible. So there's only really so much massaging and that you can do with it. I do like it for kind of like just getting into those little bits and giving it a little wiggle and a little bit of a wiggle and then moving across. But I just wish the formula was a little bit smoother so you have more kind of play time to do that massage technique. Also, the smell. The smell of this when it's on the face, it's kind of salmon oil like. I don't know why. Some people might completely disagree with me and be getting a completely different smell, but to me it has this smell of salmon. And when I'm doing my dog's breakfasts in the morning, they get 2 pumps of salmon oil. So the smell reminds me of that. It's fishy. So when you put too much on the face because you want to get a little bit more to get that slip, to get that massage, it gives a fishy smell. And listen, I like salmon, but I don't want the smell on my face. So the reason I got it was for that kind of blur, but also hydration. So what I've been replacing it with, and full disclosure, I did an ad for this on Instagram, but I purchased the product before I was even approached to do an ad, and I really, really liked it, but that's why I agreed to do the ad. And it's Iconic London, I love their product. It's their Prep Set Blur Setting Mist, but it's a prep mist. Although I don't get that like massage moment with this, I can with the Refy moisturizer. It blurs and it gives hydration, and that's all I really wanted. I have it on now as my setting spray and as my primer. And you know me, setting sprays, I always say, work best as primers, and this is a prep product as well as a setting spray. So it was made to use before your makeup. It is incredible. If you haven't checked it out, do already. So that's what I'm replacing that one with. Let's talk about concealer. Now I got this concealer. This was it still is, the Westman Atelier. What's the name of it? Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Concealer. So in my mind, I'm thinking skincare. It's going to be really nice and hydrating. You know what I really miss? The concealer I really miss. Do any of you remember Moisture Cover from MAC? That was one of my most favorite concealers, because it was hydrating, so it didn't crease very easily under the eyes. It wasn't over hydrating, and it blended just so beautifully. So for anyone who didn't want a full coverage of concealer, it went on really beautifully. You can wear it without foundation, it looks so good. So when I saw hydrating on this, I think I expected a certain texture, a certain formula. I can only describe this as a concealer version of Dream Matte Mousse, but a little bit more liquidy. It is so dry. It is really, really dry. And when it comes to using it under the eyes, that's it there. Okay, and it feels like it's set already. That feels like, can you see what I mean? Like it feels like there's no playtime, and look, you can see my fingernails going red, where I'm kind of really pushing down to get that formula to blend. That's not what I want to be doing under my eyes. I don't want to be pushing and trying to move this product around, and I also don't want it to just sit on top of my under eyes looking textured and cakey and claggy. That's not what I want. So I was really, really disappointed with a price point as well, but also just for how terrible and not very well thought through that formula is. It almost dries down instantly. And when it's under eyes, you want some time to blend, you want some time to pat, you want some time to warm up that product. But even when you warm up this product, it goes a little bit flaky, so I wouldn't even let it hang around on the skin for a few minutes. I wouldn't warm it up on the back of my hand. It is not a good texture. I was so disappointed. Because don't get me wrong, I like their other products, you know, I like their highlighters, I love their contours, I love all their other stuff. But this concealer was just not it. I really did not enjoy using it at all. Just for having to play and push under the eye, it's just not good. So I've been using a lot the Tear Glide and Hide Blurring Concealer. The reason why I'm kind of comparing it to the West MUA one is because if you do want a matte full coverage concealer, this backside on my lipstick side on the Tear one is still matte. And look, less pressure. It's still blurring out, it's still that full coverage, but you can play with it, you have time to move it around before it fully sets on the skin. And it still is that full, what I call like a traditional concealer, where it's like heavy coverage. But then you also have a liquid on the other side, should you want to do a little bit of something brighter on top, or you just don't feel like wearing something really, really heavy. I think the Tear one is even more affordable. But for some, I don't know if you can see, the concealer's kind of like crusting off on my hand. Can you see that? I don't see why you should pay so much money for this. The packaging's really heavy, which I guess is kind of some of what you're paying for, when you can have a 2-in-1 concealer that gives you a similar effect that this is trying to give you, but actually works and is actually movable and you have time to play with it. So again, I would recommend products from West MUA. I love their bronzers, highlighters, but that one is just, I just don't quite think they got that formula and texture down. If this would be good on the whole face, but for a lot of us, we're using concealer under the eye. So maybe you have an under eye concealer and maybe you want something heavier for the rest of the face. Maybe you can get a perfect match. You could even use that as a foundation. There's not much there for you to use as a foundation. Or you can spot treat. But as a under eye concealer, it's a no-go for me. It's an absolute no-go for me. My next disappointment was the MAC Strobe Beam Liquid Blush. So I tried these again, bought them all myself. I bought 4 different shades, and when I saw the term strobe, I was like, oh my god, MAC Strobe Cream, one of the most beautiful formulas, textures, finishes. It's that kind of like, you know, it glows a little bit of a different it has like this duo, like, oh, it's skin, and now it's a bit blue, or now it's a bit purple, now it's a bit gold, it's a bit peach. It has that very much metallic-y, is it there, isn't there finish. And strobe cream is something I would use all the time. Brides on the collarbones, down the middle of the legs, if it's like a vacation wedding, you know, and they have a shorter skirt on, and they have like a shorter dress or short skirt on. It really gives just a really natural glow to the skin. On the shoulders, if you're wearing something sleeveless, just a little bit again down the line, down the arm here, beautiful. And I still rate strobe cream. I really, really like it. So when they were releasing these blushes, I was like, that effect in a blush with a little bit of color is going to be absolutely beautiful. And I think what they really meant when it came to strobe was that it's just like sheer. It's just a sheer color. So it doesn't quite, and it's kind of patchy too, you know, it doesn't quite have that. The effect strobe has, and why strobe from the MAC range is so beautiful and why it's so popular, this blush doesn't have that. I am kind of like, why did they call it strobe? This could have just been a liquid blush. It's almost too watery for me. I love a cream blush and I love a liquid blush, but this is giving a suggestion of color, and I'm sure you could build it up, but I was just very disappointed in it. If it doesn't have that strobe effect from strobe cream, I don't see the point in buying this versus any other blush. So what I am replacing that with as a positive is the Tulip tints from Bloom Effects. So this is the shade Stroopwafel. Really, really beautiful. This is a great summery color. It's a lip and cheek balm, and it's similar to the texture of a strobe, but it's a tiny bit thicker. What I really like about this though, it gives you a flush of color, but it does have a glow to it. I don't know if you can see that the strobe cream, that the strobe blush kind of dries down quite quickly, whereas the tulip tint, I tried it on so I'll show you, really holds its shine, really holds a glow to it. It's not sticky, it's not oily, it doesn't mess with a foundation underneath. It's a really beautiful blush, and again, using something like that on the lips as a tint just to keep that monochromatic thing going on, I think is a really great idea. Oh, and I also do, let me put a bit of this on. This is more of movement from them. How great is that? Like just muted purple. Tastes good too. It's so glowy. It's so glowy. But you know, their products really do hold a really nice glow, a really nice shine. But if I'm going for a cream or liquid blush, and I've thought strobe, it has that glow to it, it has that shift to it. It doesn't. Strobe doesn't. So I'm gonna go for something like this, which has what I want, which is a glow, a really nice kind of balmy but glowy look to the skin. Again, doesn't have that shift, doesn't have that, but if I'm going just for a cream blush, why not choose one that is like an all-rounder? Okay, next up is a bit of a strange one because I have sworn by the Glossier Brow Flick for a really long time. I love this pen because it was one of the only products that could draw over my brow holding glues and things like that, right? Like it wouldn't drag, it wouldn't go all cakey, it wouldn't go all funny. It's Glossier prices, right? And I don't know, something about Glossier gives me a bit of an ick feeling. But it is an eyebrow pen, and you might be thinking, what's the difference between most brow pens? And honestly, nothing really. Some brow pens, as I said, I find the formula gets absorbed into my brow product, and then it looks draggy and it looks jaggy. Jaggy, is that a word? Jaggedy in the brows, and it just doesn't look good, whereas I found this one is very, very smooth. The reason I'm not going to be buying it again isn't because I don't like it, it's because I found something that I actually think performs better that is off a drugstore price. And I insulted this product. I saw it, we were doing, it was in one of my, what was it? I need to stretch my neck. It was in one of my new releases, like ranking new releases, and I don't think I ranked it very high. This is the L'Oreal Faux Brow Pen, and I bought it because I insulted it, and I saw it and I was like, no, let me try it. I love this. I really, really love this. The way it feels in my brows. I'm having a bit of an issue with this brow recently because I over plucked a little bit up here. So what I've accidentally done is I've taken a chunk out of my brow here, so it looks like this. It looks cartoonish, villainous, you know? I use my Glossier pen and I just found it slightly too thick to really give me that real sharp lines, sharp brow hairs in a bald area. I don't know why I said that so weird. So when I used this one, it was so fine, the tip was so thin, but I was like, I really, really, really like it. It really gave the effect of individual brow strokes, individual brow hairs, and it's a lot more affordable because it's drugstore. I would buy this again a million times over, and I've used it, I don't know if you can see in here, I've used it there. Oh, my brows have gone a little bit white underneath because of the base I use. I accidentally got some eyebrow, some eye products, eyeshadow on my brows. But it is so, so good. So although it is like the darkest one, it's not pitch black. It's like a deep, 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 deep brown. I sometimes find, depending on skin tone, obviously on my skin tone, a pure black looks fake. It doesn't look real because it's like, okay, even my hair isn't pure black. So when I go out in the sun, it's a little bit browner than it looks most times on camera. So to have this, that's a little bit, I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit brown. It's not pure black. It's like deep, 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 deep brown. Really beautiful. And I don't see why I should be paying for the Glossier ones when I can get more of the effect I want with a drugstore version. I love Laneige. I love a lip balm. You know me. This is their Glaze Craze Tinted Lip Serum. And this is strawberry sprinkles. Love the smell. So good. Oh my god. It smells like a strawberry vape. I don't vape, but you know sometimes when you walk in the street and you accidentally inhale someone's vape, you're like, oh my god, that smells really good. Not that I think you should be blowing your vape into people's faces, but that's what it smells like. Fake strawberry. It smells like strawberry liquid IV if you've ever had that. So it comes out, like you just squeeze a little bit, it comes out. The lids are really great as well, they kind of lock in. And then you get this really nice, oh god, it smells incredible. Really beautiful glow from it. Really like it. I think it's really, really nice. My main issue is, it's a lip serum. I'm not going to be using it as like a lip mask at night or anything like that. It's far too flavored for me to sleep in and smell. I guess I'm kind of laughing at myself with this issue because it's so petty. I don't like the flat top. I don't like having to be like this. It just feels really strange. I like being at an angle because, especially when it comes to the top here, precision, I guess, for me. This is such a non-issue. You're probably thinking like, what? Something small, something petty, but in my mind it's made me think I'm not going to buy that again. What I'm going to use instead is from Etude. It doesn't come in a keychain. I did that myself. I punched a hole in the top and put on a keychain. And this is their Sugar Colouring Jelly Balms. And it's the same top, but it's angled. Slightly tinted. This is a shade Bear Pink. But it has that same kind of like lock top mechanism. And it's a very similar colour. And I have worn the plain ones of this. I would say in terms of a texture... Oh, God. In terms of a texture, it is slightly thicker than the Laneige ones because the Laneige one is a lip serum, so it's going to have that water effect. But this isn't sticky in any way. It isn't tacky. It's less fragrance and less flavoured, if that's what you're into. There's a tiny bit of something there, but it just sits like this. And it's what I want from a lip balm, to be honest with you. If I'm not wearing makeup, that's all I want. The applicator. If this had that angled applicator, I don't know what the choice was there to not have an angle on it. I would be so happy. It's so petty. It's the pettiest thing. But that would make me go for it again. That would make me want to use it again. But it's stupid. It's really petty. But that's why I would choose the Etude one over this. Okay, so those are some things that I'm definitely not buying again. Although I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. There's just a better option for me. Let me know your opinions down below. Is there anything you're swapping out for something? Am I petty for not liking the tip of a lip balm? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.